and then Valley came down. Can I just say, Valley is not only did she win, she also won the Steez Award. That happened just as you started recording.
It's like
the
professionals,
noise of
aren't we?
can open. Yeah, that is good. Welcome
Dropping
to the Ride Companion, number 57. 57, dude. It's actually not a number that I'm particularly attracted to. 57. Is it you?
Nah, it's an ugly number, isn't it? They don't.
It is a bit ugly, yeah. Why is
Ugly
that?
number.
Because it's not. It's because it's
Yeah.
odd. It's really
It is a weird one. Really odd. Weird one with numbers. Some of them just fit together beautifully and they work. And I always initially straight away think of numbers on a race plate. Do you do that?
Yeah, imagine having 57 as your... Well, I think of them on basketball jerseys. If you had 57, you get benched, I reckon.
Do you reckon? You sat at the side of 69?
Yeah. Those two suckers just sat on the bench. Dude, I've got some... Before we talk about the World Cup, that was really exciting, right?
Fantastic race. What a weekend of racing.
Mate, incredible. But I've got a story that's literally like it's just happened.
Okay.
And it's it's right. So
we're recording this early as well, just for people listening. We're recording on a Sunday for the first time in a long time. We're doing a Sunday late afternoon recording.
Sunday afternoon, that's right. We're tuning in.
Drive time.
Okay.
And I'm literally sat here covered in hair, and I don't know what's going on where all this is coming from. I often get just a quick one.
Go on.
Often get people messaging on YouTube now that message about orbs that are like, "Did you see that orb going past you at this time?" And people like literally put the time reference of, "Did you see that orb on Davy's camera at this time?" But
we've got ghosts. We still need to do the
dude. Still need to do a ghost episode. But seriously, people mention it a lot. Like it's
so you've got orbs going around, have you?
Well, I can see it. It's just fluff and hair because we've got dog and cat and.
Dude, don't ruin it. You're ruining the supernatural episode.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel them go through me.
Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah. Which way do they go? In at the back and out the front, or they go in the front? In the front's going to be painful, isn't it?
They always go up the back and out the front.
all of the orbs in your house go in the back. Interesting.
Yeah, always go in the back.
A judgment. I'm just interested by that. Right, let me tell you my story. Right, so
please.
We've got this. Dude, it shook me up, and it is actually... Okay, so this story is both sad and funny at the same time.
Okay.
So we've got a local coffee shop. You've in fact been there, and there is there's a guy there who's I guess a homeless gentleman. I'm friends with him, right? So I always say hello to him. I'm always cool with him. He doesn't say much back, but I feel like I go to this coffee shop enough. He knows who I am. I just got attacked by him. Literally, just like we're talking 20 minutes ago.
What do you mean? What happened?
I pulled up in the car. I got out the car, and he was packing up a load of stuff. And it's interesting, dude. It is interesting because you don't have these things happen often. So he was packing up loads of there was like cushions on the chairs. He's putting them all in a pile. So I just.
Why does he sleep there? You mean he sleeps on the chairs?
No, these are just chairs. No, he doesn't. I don't know where he sleeps. That aspect of the story is really, really sad. Actually, loads of the aspects of the story are sad. The only funny bit of the only funny part of the story is that it happened to me. If you know what I mean.
Okay,
so I got out the car and I said, are we missing closing time? He turns around, got a load of cushions and a load of stuff, chucks it at me. I'm like close to him, and then he swings a punch at me. Out of nowhere, dude.
Is he connected?
And I'm there with you. No, he didn't connect because you know what I mean. Because
yeah.
of my...
Your boy's got those basketball feet. He's got those quick ankles. You never know. He snaps an ankle.
I know this is mainly people listen to this podcast, but if you can just imagine how quick, like if you on a YouTube, you can see how quick I move.
I don't think we record in enough frames per second for that.
No, it won't pick it up.
No, the FPS is too low.
Audio, so you can hear me. I'm really close to the microphone now. Now I'm really far away. You see how quick I was?
That's fast.
So I've ducked a heavy. It was a haymaker right-hander. I've ducked it. He's glanced off my hand, and then because your boy, not much of a fighter, don't really know what to do, awkwarded out. I kind of had the same reaction as if something ran at you fast, like a bit like flustered, like, and then that was it. And
But what happened now? How did you resolve this? Where did he go?
My brother was there, and my brother's. But we're all just—it's just awkward. Like really, the majority of like.
Wow.
I feel like we've all grown up with Hollywood movies, right? And you think about what you're going to do in one of these situations. You know, oh no, I'm running down the alleyway. Brick wall. The guy's running behind me. I'm going to backflip off the wall and land behind him, and then I'm going to headbutt the back of his head or something. You know what I mean? You have this like idea about what would go on in a confrontation.
Yeah.
I just got awkward. I was just like, "You're right, mate. I don't know what to do. This is too weird." So it got awkward, and then he sort of like, immediately, I don't know. He was proper squared up, and he had pure rage in his eyes. I feel really, like the not funny part of the story is that he's obviously struggling. He's having a shit time, and I'm always nice to him, and the people in the cafe are lovely to him, and he's normally very, he's very easy to be around. He's chill,
Yeah.
Anyway, so then I just go, I'm awkward as fuck. And to be honest, my way of dealing with the awkwardness is like, I don't really like to dwell on things. So I've gone to the thingy. There's loads of people gathered round. It's really weird. It's created like a bit of a, an atmosphere. So I've gone to the cafe and I've ordered my iced Americano. But I've tried to make it as normal as anything, Oh, no, don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. And, and that was it. And then I tried to go and talk to him and just make sure we're cool,
Yeah.
I felt really guilty, dude, because honestly, like...
Yeah, you were the catalyst of his bad day, but probably not meaning to be. You were
Exactly.
You broke the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly, and I don't want to be the one. This is what the conversation that I got into with George and my brother. I was like, even though it wasn't my fault and I didn't do anything to have this response from him, I don't want to be the person that made, like if he got sectioned or something. I would rather not. I'd rather give him the benefit of the doubt. He's having a bad day. Maybe I took him by surprise, or he thought I was someone else. I don't know. I couldn't get any sense out of him. I went and talked to him afterwards. I said, "Are you all right, mate? I'm sorry. I must have startled you. All of this." I didn't get any sense out of him, but he's apparently attacked a lady a minute ago and stuff, and the police turned up and they
real
interviewed
bad day.
me. But like I was being interviewed by the police, and even then I was just like. Like I'm such a chicken shit, dude, because I just didn't want to be the person that like, dude, snitches get stitches. So I was talking to the police. I was like, oh no, he's fine. He's just having a bad time. But I mean, that's selfish of me in a way, because if it wasn't me,
if it hit George, you'd have had a totally different reaction.
Yeah, exactly. And you have like, I don't know. It's funny being an adult. You just don't know how you're meant to deal with so many things in life. I go through now. I do reluctantly consider myself an adult. I sort of go through life not really knowing the correct way to act. Like in that situation, I want to just look over my shoulder and just be like, "Mum, what do I do in this situation? Do I lamp him?
True.
Mum,
yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Do I stitch him up to the police? He was very dangerous. If I'd been a woman with a pram. This would have been a very different story. Do I stitch him up or do I? I mean, he's always.
Yeah.
Out
I mean, your initial reaction is it's just sad, isn't it? It's like,
exactly.
Where does this go? That's what I always think. It's like, where does this go? All right. Let's say you stitch him up to the police. Then what? Like, where is this guy going to end up? Is it just going to get worse? Like, fuck, it's gnarly that, man.
Arguably, I did a bad thing, and I didn't stitch him up. I didn't snitch on him. I just said, look, I don't know whether that was the right thing. I'd love to hear from our listeners at what they would do, because often I think I do get these things wrong. Or
you got it wrong with the tyres. So let's see.
I think overwhelmingly people thought I was too easy on the tyre guy.
Yeah.
And maybe
can you imagine our comment section is just like headlock, drop kick?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, my brother was there, and he's quite keen on the old headlocks, but it was it would have been. It wasn't like...
It's not going to end well, is it? It's not going to end well.
The stupid thing is, you realise how... Like, I can't turn on anger or violence. In my personality doesn't allow me to... I'd say I'm fairly sharp. If people are horrible to me, I always have a comeback. But with a physical altercation, it's not like I've got that comeback. I'm just like, wow, that's weird. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
I can't turn that on. I remember an example I've got. So I played a lot of ice hockey when I was younger, and in my like early 20s, mid 20s as well. Actually, played ice hockey. Played at like recreation level most of the time, just because it was fun. And rec hockey is a very weird mix of people sometimes, because you get the young up and comers that are sort of like trying to make it into league or whatever. You've got ex-professionals who just play rec hockey because it's kind of fun. Yeah. And then you've got this weird group of people that are just there to try and start a fight. And that actually happens quite a lot, that you've literally got a guy there who's just there just to take some anger out. Rather than hitting his missus, he's going to hit someone else. That's literally what would happen. And I remember this one particular occasion, we're playing at home, parents are there, like the whole thing. And you've seen ice hockey games, when the goalkeeper puts his hand on the puck, everyone skates to a stop, and usually there's a little bit of pushing and shoving, which is fine. It's kind of all part of the game. They're trying to keep you out of that crease. It's just naturally what happens. Yeah. And this one time, I've skated up, maybe a little bit late, and I've hit the goalie's hand with the stick, try and poke this puck out. And this guy has just cross-checked me in the back, hard as fuck, dude. Just like, bang! And I think most people's reaction would have just been like, what the, drop your gloves, that sort of thing. But because I'm not like that, so I just started laughing. He's like doing the gesture which means drop the gloves. You sort of shake your hands and you're like, come on, let's go. And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I don't even have this in me. Like,
I know.
I wouldn't know what to do. I'd just laugh. Like, I'm not fight guy at all. I don't have it. It's very rare that emotion will turn on.
It's always so reluctant to me. I mean, I'm not saying I've never been in one, in a drunken bar or whatever. I've been picked on before, and I've zero experience fighting, first of all, I'd like to say. But it's not that I haven't been in a confrontation before. It's just like to get it to switch on, I feel like I'm just the wrong person. It makes me, maybe I'm not. Anyway, violence wouldn't have been the answer in this situation.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Exactly.
You don't want to be on the front page of the paper for that, do you?
No, exactly. And then
beating up the local homeless guy.
Dude, it would have been all wrong.
Professional mountain biker beats up local homeless guy.
Exactly. But I sat near him afterwards. I didn't want to make it happen again, so I was respectful of the fact that I'd made it happen once without meaning to. I hadn't done anything. I know the guy's name. I'd seen him a load of times. I think it's important to make an effort, because I see him all the time, and he's, clearly homeless. And I think it's nice to be. Fuck, I just sound like a cock. But just to acknowledge someone. I can't imagine what it's like to be going through life with no one acknowledging you, and just.
I think I told you the story recently about like my local village having a homeless guy sat outside. Similar thing, dude. Watch people just walk past, head down, don't want to even acknowledge that it's a thing. So you have to. I'm the same. You have to say, "Can I get you anything?" Like, I'm going in the shop. I'm literally walking in the shop, which is full of all this stuff that you probably can't afford.
Yeah.
And I have the means to be able to afford it. So can I get you something? Can I just help, like, in any way? As long as as long as they don't say something silly, it's like, vodka. Get us vodka. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'll get you like a nice, I don't know, some fruit or a nice drink.
I mean, even just saying hello is a kindness that I think that people are often not offered. It's a kindness that a homeless person won't. How sad is that? I mean, it's not that I walk around and everyone's saying hello to me, but just if you are clearly homeless,
you're not sat outside a shop.
No, exactly. And I think just to acknowledge that person, that they're having a human experience and you are. But maybe I think twice now, dude. I mean, it's happened to me before as well. I got swung out of a rusty bar in Mexico before with a homeless guy. I was just like, whoa, I'm really not good with this.
Wow.
It's like it's not to liken humans to dogs, but dogs in the UK feel like even a gnarly one, you can get them. You talk to them for a bit, let them sniff the back of your hand, you're good. And then you go to another country, they don't go by the same rules. I've been bitten in different countries. Their dogs are kept like in other ways.
Yeah,
that sounded really bad. That sounded like I was likening, but I just mean in terms of confrontational behaviour. It's like So
I got a friend dude who was once stood outside a shop waiting for his girlfriend. I don't think he listens to the podcast. So Chris stood outside waiting for his girlfriend, and bless him, he doesn't make the most effort. Used to have quite long hair, bit scraggy. Yeah. Someone walked up and gave him a tenner.
Mate, I feel like I'm nearly in that category. No one's ever given me any money. Goes to show.
Dude, wait outside some shops long enough, you never know.
Yeah, I probably would.
Right, it always tickles me that, because he's like pretty wealthy and he doesn't need a tenner, let's put it that way, but someone was like, here you go, get yourself some food.
That is good. That is good.
Wow.
Do you know, one thing I got from it was just I don't know if any of our listeners work in the police force, but oh my goodness, the patience with which, and like just that
special person, mate.
Oh man, isn't
special
it?
person to do that job.
So kind and so patient, and it turns out he'd attacked someone previously just before I got there. So he's obviously having a bad time, and whatever, he's in an episode, whatever he's going through, and the police had already been called, and just to see how well they dealt with him and didn't escalate it and just treated him with the respect that he deserves. It's like, what a job, man! You just and
dude, the worst job.
Yeah, and then they drive away probably to another one exactly the same, where they have to treat someone. It's such a difficult situation because you can feel it loaded with like energy. You can feel in this cafe. You could see all the people around the outside that witnessed him attack the lady and then me. And
it's tough as well. It's tough as well for
weird, man.
It's tough for the businesses as well.
Yeah,
like
very tough.
Obviously, they've got this guy hanging out outside the shop. It's tough, isn't it? It's what I always used to think that when you go into the town centre sometimes and you see homeless people sleeping outside like shop doors.
Yeah,
you're like, I don't want to be that person that's like, can you move, please? I don't want to. I want to. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to handle that. Like, it's a horrible thing to have to do, and it's for them, business. They got someone outside attacking people. Like,
yeah, they're brilliant.
How do you deal with that?
This cafe, hats off to them. They've always really looked after him, and
you're going to be homeless. Surrey Hills, nice cafe.
True. Yeah, but fuck knows. Crazy thing to happen though. It makes you realise how, I don't know, how normal my life is normally. I don't really come across people, I guess, that not come across people, but you know what I mean. I don't deal with normal city stuff really. Where I live. Yeah.
Super rare. Super rare.
So that was my story of the morning. I thought you'd enjoy it. I thought I should share it on here.
You're getting swung on.
Yeah, exactly. But dude, like one thing I learned from it was, fucking hell, he's quick. Your boy's quick.
Whoa.
Yeah. Don't know where he's going, left, right, whatever. And that's the thing. It's in out as well. In out as well. I can do
all multi-directional.
Yeah. I can even do diagonals. Whoa. See how quickly that happened. Pretty good, dude. Pretty good. So, there we go.
Oh dear.
Should we talk about the World Cup and then get on to some listener questions, or what? We have to talk about the World Cup.
We have to talk about it, man. What a race.
How good was it?
Holy. Yeah, that one got me good. Again, okay, timing. Perfect. 6:45? Dude, the dream.
That's about
big
right.
Fan of the 6 foot.
Yeah.
Big fan of the 6:45 races again. Big fan of it. Nice full day. For me personally, big run in the Peak District. Still, did I tell you I'm doing a marathon?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're training.
Would love some suggestions for a charity. I want to do it for a charity at least. So if anyone's got any charities that you're working on or anything like that that would benefit from whatever money I could make running a
good on you.
silly
That's
marathon
a really good
again,
idea, yeah.
Please let us know. Slide into the DMs or something. At the moment, it's going to be Wings for Life because I like Wings for Life. But there's a few other ones that I've seen. But yeah, I just want to do, at least try and do it for charity rather than just doing it for myself. Anyway, nice run, back, tidying the house, doing a bit of decorating at the moment. And then the World Cup's on, like Saturday evening. Oh, nice, dude. Just starting to cool down. Oh, it's
lovely
the dream.
Full stop on the day, that, isn't it?
Big fan of those races.
Well. Fantastic.
Do you think that whoever's going to be... Hang on, how to word this? If you're looking at building out a season for this sort of thing, like World Cups and stuff, you do want to dot the events around the world for this particular reason, I feel like.
Absolutely,
because it is a good thing for Europe. I guess Europe's going to be a massive part of mountain bike media consumption. So you'd be looking at that going, right, okay, if we have a race here, then maybe you get more viewers in the evenings, that sort of thing.
Fascinating.
Sure,
thought,
that is
a fascinating thought because, in Europe, surely then you would push it back more for evening. Evening for me is just
viewing.
better.
Yeah,
general.
it's just better. Yeah, it is better.
It's weird.
Anyway.
Like basketball games are like that. They have them in the evening for that very reason. You don't want to have it in 12 o'clock. It's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, I know they've got a lot to get through, practice in the morning, juniors. Women, I appreciate that, but yeah, dude, it's so much better when it's on in the evening.
Yeah.
I'm way more psyched for it. You've had a stacked day already.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, and it was brilliant start to finish as well. I thought Jackson was going to come in with another. I don't know where his time actually ended him up eventually in the elites, but he wasn't fastest time of the day.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be another Jackson fastest because the time difference between Quali and then Jackson's time was like he was really going some. It was impressive, wasn't it?
He's hauling this year, isn't he?
Wow. Really impressive.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable young man.
And then Valley came down. Valley's. Can I just say, Valley is not only did she win, she also won the Stees Award. Did you see Valley?
Can I just add? Sorry, can I just add? Jackson. So Jackson's time was 4:13.
Yeah.
Which would have meant he would have finished third in elite.
Dangerous young gun.
That's insane.
Dangerous young gun. I mean, oh man, he's coming in to elite hot, isn't he?
Does that mean that the whole category thing is kind of skewed in a way? Like, could the juniors not? Could it not just be an open category, or is that silly to think? I'm just throwing ideas out there.
I know what you're saying, but then like, this is an outlier. This is.
Yeah, I suppose this is an outlier. Yeah, although to be fair, dude, the second in junior men's, Jordan Williams from the UK, obviously he was 4:17, so he'd have finished in fourth.
Oh my goodness, it's shocking.
Or fifth? No, fifth. He went just quite quicker than Bernard.
Wow. I mean, I don't actually understand because when I was that age, when I was junior age, I had no business doing anything like dealing with any one of these like compressions or these sprint sections. You know what I mean? I know these guys are trained and they work really hard, but just the bodies alone, their frames are not. I just can't think that they're developed. I definitely got a lot stronger from junior age to when I would have competed. Hell
of an experience too, man. Even just doing the whole travelling, life skills, everything. For the juniors, really cool. Yeah, being over there, wherever you're from, I guess obviously it's easier for Jackson, but yeah, for Jordan and all those guys, super cool. Ryan, Pinkerton, all those people, just to be out there doing that, dope.
I thought about that a lot, like about. Do you know what? I know we're going everywhere here, but I was thinking about.
Yeah, sorry.
No, not at all. Blenky. I was thinking Blenky's got a win under his belt, and then he hasn't. He was back amongst it this round, wasn't he? He was.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know where he ended up, but it just made me realise he's got a win, and then he's not.
Dude, he finished 8th.
Yeah, it's good, but he's not been
sick
able
to see actually.
Like have that form again, and like how do you like you can see how much that can affect. So our guy BK is a perfect example. BK's done really well, and you can just see someone peak. So on a graph, you know, once you've had a result, you know then that you have had this result. These other people aren't magic. You can do it. You know, it's pure psychological. But Bernard hasn't got any quicker. He's always been this quick, but it's like just having. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but do you think he is getting quicker though? Because that confidence goes a long way, man, doesn't it? That little bit of confidence. It's almost like the placebo effect, the confidence, isn't it? It's like
that's what I mean.
Telling you can do something without actually. Yeah,
it's mental. It's not speed. You know, it's not speed and bike control and fitness. It's a mental game. It just goes to show how much it plays a part, really, doesn't it? Like your psychology and your approach.
Be interesting to talk to Bernard about that at some point. Let's get the season out of the way, sit down, because it's been obviously an incredible year for Bernard.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it'd be
really interesting to sit and talk to him about it.
I've just been for a cross country ride actually. I thought about this without realising I was thinking about it. I was riding along the river. My ankle hurts at the minute. Not in the best mood because of that, you know? Not in the best mood, and it just made me realise how much you're like. I was riding along this river and there's loads of people on stand-up paddleboards.
Oh, nice.
And I was just looking at stand-up paddleboards and I was just thinking, this is. I'm going to upset a lot of people here. We've done it before with the disc golf. Stand-up paddleboard is arguably the thing I want to do the least. It's like, and
Please,
it feels like it's like the yo-yo of. It's currently cool. People do it in like, the there was a dude. He had his his travelling trousers. You know, like those like loose-fitting cloth things on.
Yeah.
And he was just feeding himself. He's just paddling upstream at 0 miles an hour. I think he was actually going backwards. The swans are looking at him like, what the fuck is this dude doing? Why is that guy stood on a piece of litter in a river? You know what I mean? There's just hundreds of people on stand-up paddleboards. And you can walk along the edge quicker. Like, it must be nice. It must be peaceful, whatever. And by no means do I think I have the answers. These are just opinions of my own that I've formed. And I was like...
I feel like stand-up paddleboarding's like, it's a lockdown thing as well, isn't it? Everyone bought paddle,
Now they're just...
I feel like there weren't many participants before
no.
lockdown.
And, okay, so we get to the end of this now, and I realised I'm just hating on stand-up paddleboarding because my ankle hurts. It's me just like reflecting negativity. You know what I mean? I don't actually care.
Yeah.
If you want to stand on a piece of litter and go at 0.7 miles an hour down a piss-filled river, by all means do it. It doesn't affect me. And also it looks peaceful. When I actually think about it, if I was in a positive frame of mind, I'd just be looking at these people. I'd just be thinking, oh, brilliant, they're enjoying the great outdoors. How lovely it is to be alive. And it just made me think about that outlook, how much your outlook and how much your like state of mind can affect something. And that goes, and look at this, I've linked it all the way back, we're podcasting, dude, to racing. If you go into a race thinking, I'm the fucking shit, I got a podium last round, I'm going to hit it this weekend and I'm going to show them that it wasn't a one-off. Like, that is a different mind frame
definitely.
To going along the river thinking...
You're on the front foot rather than being on the back foot, which is basically, you're on the front foot rather than, constantly trying to prove yourself a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
a little bit like, you've got a bit of momentum behind it. It must be massive. Again, never been in that situation really. On a micro scale, of course, you know, you've won a, whatever, hot seat racing. Next time you've got something to prove, the same with whatever, but... Yeah.
No, I hear you. Do you know another interesting one as well? When you watch people come down and they have a moment, and you watch, like, moments rarely happen.
As in, like, a sketchy moment.
Yeah. Come off line, maybe. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be a big thing, but you see it on TV. You see a moment happen, and then that moment should be, in theory, okay, whatever. We've lost 0.2 of a second on that turn. Should be an isolated, standalone moment that doesn't affect the rest of your run. But it doesn't happen like that.
No.
Often a moment will happen, another moment will happen, and then a crash happens. Or certainly for me on a track, I blow out one turn and then I'll end up fucking up another. And it's like, that is a mind thing.
Especially against the clock, because you think, right, that's 0.2 gone. I can make 0.2 up here on this corner. Yeah. You go into it, no brakes or a little bit less braking, whatever. Boom.
Quite the sport for it downhill. There's not many like it. I reckon tennis is another good one to look at, because if you actually think about tennis, every point just matters the same. You're just trying to win a point at a time. If you could make your brain just think, okay, I just double faulted on my serve. I don't know if that's how you say it. I fucked up.
Yeah.
The next one, it shouldn't be affected by that last one. Like if your brain was good enough, it wouldn't be affected. It'd just be like, oh, I fucked up that last one. This one, I'm still just trying to get it in and win the point. It's really hard one. I think some of the sports best are like very good at that.
With that, it almost does always start from... Yeah, you've got the momentum of the game happening, but it does start from zero every time. Whereas with mountain biking and downhill or whatever sort of sports, it's a momentum thing.
Yes.
So once that momentum's gone, you're like,
true.
oh...
That's true. There can be a physical difference. If you fuck up
physical
one section,
difference.
Then you're second guessing whether you got the speed to make
whereas
that gap.
with tennis or stuff, it's like, right, ball stopped, take a breath, go again.
It shouldn't matter,
with mountain,
in a close game, you can. It's undoubtedly when it gets to like deuce, undoubtedly people fuck up because it's deuce. Oh, dude.
Sound like I feel, mate.
Oh, I'm in a lot of pain.
I'm in a lot of pain. Let me go through it. My calves hurt, right? My quads hurt. I'll be honest, my bum hurts. My bum hurts, my back hurts, my back muscles, my shoulders hurt, my chest hurts, kind of parts of my neck hurt. I've been riding too much, dude. It's freedom ride. I've been doing a lot of laps. I've been doing a lot of riding. I just don't know how to get rid of these terrible pains.
Dude, I'm in the exact same boat. It's been a long weekend, dude.
Yeah,
I drove all the way down, all the way back. It's been long, sticky. My shoulders hurt, my back and my neck, everything, mate. And honestly, I was driving home back up to the north yesterday. Just couldn't wait to get home and pick up my Compex Fix 2.0 massage gun because I knew that this was going to solve all of those problems, mate. And honestly, I dare say you should be doing the same now, to be honest with you. You should probably go and grab that thing and have a little session. I had a session with it last night. Yeah, dude, straight away. I had it on. Setting 4 is my favourite setting. I love setting 4. Yeah, not too hard, not too soft. Get in there to all the niggles. Let me tell you a little bit about it, dude. Ergonomic design and rotating head helps reach the toughest of areas.
Oh, yeah, so it just snaps. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Speed adjuster dial. You just turn it on like that with that little button. Lights up. There's your speed adjuster.
Okay, I like the sound as well.
That's what setting 4 looks like if you want a visual representation.
Hey, you're putting that right by the mic, but that's actually not too loud, is it?
No, mate, it's actually really quiet. I believe quiet motor operation. It's less than 660 decibels, mate.
It can't be.
It's got a... Yeah, honestly, it's less than 60 decibels. You can use this. Oh, there you go. That's how the battery comes out. Look, removable, rechargeable, lithium polymer battery provides up to 90 minutes of massage. Let me tell you, 90 minutes of massage has been just good enough for me to start feeling a little bit more human and be able to do this podcast today.
Right, there you go. So, right, okay, dude. I need one. You've established that. How do I get one? And obviously, it's going to be what? Is it going to be like £4,000, or is it going to? You know what I mean? It's going to be expensive if it makes you feel that.
Yeah. You think it would be, dude. You think it would be that much, but anyway,
£5,000.
It's a little bit less, and we're going to give you a discount code too to make it even cheaper. So, just all you got to do, man, pop up one of your web browsers, head to compex.com, compex.com.
Okay, is that
enter the code, dude.
.com. COMPEX. And that's it.
Have a browse through, mate. Have a browse some of the stuff that they've got. They've got all sorts of recovery equipment, mate, from guns to massage guns. They've got the muscle stimulators. They've got medicine balls, all sorts of stuff on there, man. It's not just this gun. Once you've found some stuff that you like, punch in the Ride Companion. Right? What is it?
Is it the Ride Companion, and is that all in capitals?
Yeah, leave the caps lock on for that one, mate. Caps lock on. It's going to get you some deals.
And you say that gets me 20% off on compex.com.
Yeah.
COMPEX.
That is a whopping... That is a massive discount, actually, folks. This stuff it's really good. So, and as you know, we only talk about what we like. So, The Ride Companion, compex.com, is going to get you 20% off everything on the store. Unfortunately, it is only available to UK customers, but... it is what it is.
We're looking to change that. We're looking to change that soon.
We're looking to change it now. Yeah. Thank you, Compex. Thank you for keeping the ball rolling, because without that today, I'd have been sat here like a stiff board. So thank you.
You'd be sat here like I am. Oh.
Thanks, Compex.
Compex. Really, it shouldn't matter that it's advantage them or advantage you. You're just trying to win that point. So, in a sports psychology setting, I would imagine, not that I know very much about it, I would imagine that that's what they try and instill in people, that each point matters equal amounts. I
was thinking about it in a similar way yesterday. So I did a relatively big run yesterday, again training for this marathon in the Peak District, so it's pretty hard. But I was literally thinking this exact thing, that so if I set off on this run and it's like a 16-mile loop. Now, if you straight away set off and you're thinking about the end, and 16 miles is a decent loop, it's pretty big. So you get in your own head and you start thinking, I don't know if I can do this. But if you break it down to like, right, I only have to get up to that hill, cool. Next bit. And then I was like physically thinking, okay, I just need to get to that point now. We get to that point. Okay, next point. And you break it all down like that. And that way similar to how they break it down on the race with sections.
Absolutely, yeah.
You just got to keep getting through those sections
exactly,
and break it down in your head.
Interesting though, isn't it? Because regardless of how many sections you break it down to, if I blew out that first turn out the gate, run's ruined for me because I'm a weak-minded, pathetic human.
Like, oh, I'm shit.
Yeah.
I'm fucking over
Filled
it.
with self-loathing for the rest of the run. You useless bastard on your race run. Honestly, all these people watching you. That's what I'd be like. Honestly, in my stupid helmet, inside my D4, I'd just be filled with just self-loathing. Oh, come on, Ollie! You blew that turn out. Honestly, so early. Everyone's watching. You're never going to make the gap now. You're never going to make the gap now. It just makes you wonder how much is psychological. I mean, Minard crashed on Minard's.
Yeah.
What does it mean? Who knows?
But on that, we finally saw our boy Amory break.
We did, yeah.
The pressure was there. He said in one of the interviews he was like, oh, I didn't know I had to finish top 23 to win the overall. I didn't know that. That's whether he was lying or not, I don't know. But he was like, oh, I didn't know that. So it was in there.
Yeah.
Like, he must be. If he was really trying to imagine, like, you're really, really trying to not look at the results, you're not trying to think of the overall, but yet the person interviewing you tells you.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was really not. I was really trying to keep that not in my head.
I think
so. Yeah, he knew he had to finish top 23, right?
Yeah. I think of him as the kind of I don't know, his outlook towards a racetrack and Greg Minard's outlook. I would say if they had sports psychologists, I would say that they're probably quite different. Greg's been in it a long time. He understands how to put together the perfect run. I would say he's done it so many times before. He's done it more than anyone. And Amory, I think of as just the power of youth and momentum and strength and
confidence.
Yeah. So I think
totally.
even from a spectator's point of view, I think you can see those two different athletes. And who knows, 10 years time when Amory's at the number of World Cups that Greg Minard's done, maybe he will then have put together. I mean,
I was thinking exact same thing. So Greg had raced that track 7 times.
Yeah.
That is a pretty big advantage, really, isn't it? I know they've changed it a little bit here and there, but just being in that environment, being in the town, the whole thing just becomes a little bit easier because you're just not
it's familiar.
Yeah, it's familiar. You've had results. You're confident because you've got certain aspects of the track named after you, all that sort of stuff. It would be interesting to sit and talk to both of them about how they come into that event and how they break it all down, for sure.
I think I spend a bit. I'm a bit critical sometimes. I think probably Barry Big Mouth about a lot of things, but World Cup tracks being really fast and maybe not being quite the same as what I remember downhill as in my head was probably just me being younger, but in the golden years of tracks, I feel like there were differences in speed and pace, and I think actually they really achieved it here with the new stuff. There was just fucking loose turns, slower speed, you had to, tighter stuff, more light. It just looked like such a well-rounded racetrack. We'll speak to Bernard about it, or we'll speak to someone about it, because I'd love to actually know. But from the outside, it looked that way. Would you agree?
I would agree. It had a little bit of everything on it, didn't it? From sort of off-camber stuff, rock stuff, gaps that some people were and weren't doing. It had the fact that they were going 60 kilometres as well. Yeah.
That mixed with
fast,
slower pace, going into the woods.
That's fast. 60 kilometres and braking bumps. Get fucked.
Dude, who...
Get fucked.
Who blew out at 60? Who was it?
Yeah, who was it? Yeah, someone did, didn't they?
I can't remember.
Could have. It might have been Deprelli, It might have been Thibault.
It might well have been, yeah. It was a good save.
And it looked like he got a flat at the same exact moment that he sort of went off course. I don't know, maybe that caused it, I don't know. But yeah, it looked like he was going to have a big one, didn't it? But he rode through a Maxis banner. It's just so that's scary, dude. You don't want to be going off course at 60 kilometres an hour.
Talking
that's
of going
for damn
off
sure.
Course, did you see... I don't know how this doesn't happen more often, I'll be honest. But Nina Hoffman collided with Sven. Did you see that?
Oh, I only saw the Instagram. Yeah,
Sven had a serious swellbow from it, but
I saw the swellbow. Yeah,
it's gnarly that it doesn't happen more often. It got me thinking about when you watch rally,
Oh, mate.
Rally.
I'm sure it happens more often, but it's not broadcast too much.
They want to, yeah. No one will go watch the things, but like
people are literally at the side of the course, like, "Way!" and they're going like 200 mile an hour sideways.
Yeah. I mean, it is equivalent to what happens at World Cup downhills.
Yeah.
Sven
So what happened? Do you know what was the context? Because I saw Sven's Instagram said like, "Don't turn your back." So I guess he was
I think
not looking the right way, and Nina's.
Yeah, she just went offline. It looked like one of those awkward crashes you have in a practice, for instance, where you go offline, maybe you're trying something new, and it wasn't even that fast, but how steep it is, like, you're just out of control, aren't you? And Sven was just wrong place at that time. He was waiting there
the
for
camera
the shot
bag
of
on,
Nina.
probably.
You know, the funny thing is, they've all got the radios, and no doubt someone's radioed through. You know, Nina's at the sharp end of the women's downhill, and no doubt someone's radioed into Sven. Nina's coming. Nina's coming. So then Sven's in position. There she is.
Oh man, I hope he's okay. That's gonna suck. I seen he broke a camera and
yeah, goodness, glad he's all right.
Like you say, glad. Weird. It doesn't happen more often.
It is weird, isn't it?
Really strange. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe it does.
What else did we have? I mean, we should.
But can we just talk quickly about? Or did we talk about Amory breaking a little bit?
Amory breaking.
A little bit. Yeah, like literally broke a little bit, right? The pressure got there. It was there.
To him, yeah. I wonder whether it was the pressure got to him or he
or just a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just don't know, do you?
Because and fair play to the guy. Here's again what I was thinking. He could have called that one in. I think with a coasty run, he could have topped 23.
Yeah.
Couldn't he?
Yeah. Well,
but
he didn't.
He went for
25.
the dub.
He was 25 with that crash. I think he
25
finished
with the
20,
crash.
I think he finished. I could be completely wrong.
And
Maybe
he
he
had
rolled down
almost,
into 25th.
Yeah, I think so. But he almost lost like 12 seconds on that crash.
Crazy.
But he could have. What I mean is, he could have called it in, couldn't he? He could have been like, I can get a top 20 with a pretty conservative, steady run.
100%. Yeah.
He went for the W, which is rad. Good, fair play to the guy.
Admirable. Yeah. Let me have a look. I'll
Very
find
admirable.
Out where Amory ended up.
Very admirable in the end. But
He
even
ended
to get
up 26th, even with that crash. Crazy, man. So
Amazing.
yeah, Finn. Oh, how cool was it seeing Finn? Stoked for Finn's first World Cup win on home turf. And do you know, it actually, I think maybe my room's dusty, maybe there's orbs floating around like at your house. But it got me, man. It got me thinking just about, first of all, Stevie Smith, how amazing Stevie Smith it was and how much impact he made on the sport. And like, that's what's, you know, we talk about these races as if they matter. And they do matter for that reason, you know.
That's
individual
right.
races don't mean anything.
What he was doing impacted a generation,
Exactly,
and Finn Ours is that generation that it impacted. And to see him, you know, respect Stevie, to, you know, say he was riding for Stevie, and you know, all that stuff, and then to come through and win on home soil was just,
unreal.
Dude. It was when he like hugged his mum and dad. That gets me every time. The
much.
fact that you know how many conversations will have been had over dinner tables about if I can win a World Cup, and that career arc of, you know, even the parents seeing a little bit of talent there. Okay, this could actually go somewhere, and this, and then there it is. That is the moment. All that hard work has come to the point of celebration, and all right there in the perfect place. Dude, you couldn't have written a better script for that race.
Human achievement gets me, man. Nowadays,
couldn't have written a better script for that one. I feel like, especially just to go back a tiny bit, but Laurie's run was mind blowing. Like, it's very rare, I feel like, that you can really see someone come down the course on a camera as well and go, he is noticeably quicker than everybody. Like, very, very obviously. So to put 7 seconds in and then sit on the hot seat for as long as he did as well, mind blowing.
So impressive.
So it looked like he got it, didn't it? And then it was like you were saying last week when we spoke, the cream does always rise to the top, and you start seeing like, fucking hell, Blenky could get a podium, and all those guys are right there, and then the top ones just turn it up
Laurie's
that extra little.
And I thought the interview was really cool. It was really like, it was almost revealing, wasn't it? Because he was like, he actually didn't think that he had an absolute stormer of a run.
Wow.
I think it's often the case. It's not that he didn't think he had a stormer, but it was like, he said he was cautious. He felt like there was a lot of loose rocks, so he was concentrating on carrying speed And I think that's
you could see him carrying speed, pumping a lot more.
Yeah.
Trying to stay off the brakes, just keep that momentum going, and obviously it worked a treat, didn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a hard thing to harness because it doesn't always necessarily feel quick when you're going the quickest you can.
Yeah.
The fastest race run doesn't necessarily feel the fastest because you're not necessarily whacking everything and like it's not like explosions everywhere. It doesn't have to be anyway.
No. Look at Greg.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's true.
It's just conservative and just
look at,
fast.
Yeah, even look at Finn. He lost his chain. I don't know where he lost
True.
his chain, but like.
Yeah, true. Fucking hell, dude. Yeah, he lost his chain. Holy shit, makes it even more impressive. I forgot about that. Fair play to the kid, dude. A lot of pressure. And in fairness, we have seen Finn qualify good and crash.
Yeah.
But that time, it all just came good, didn't it? And the confidence as well is saying before the race how he was just feeling it this weekend.
Yeah.
It was just on. Ridden that track a lot as well, growing up, I guess.
Last man down the hill is a different thing, though, dude. I don't.
Last man down the hill, home race.
Yeah, I'm a fanboy of all of these riders and this sport, but it's one thing that's like really makes you think this is the pace they're going at is horrible. Yeah, it's very impressive, but I can imagine what it feels like. I can't imagine what it feels like to be last man on the hill. I can't imagine the pressure and like conquering the pressure and actually doing it. I mean,
would you rather be last man on the hill at Fort William, home race, or would you rather be last man on the hill at Mount St Anne?
I mean, both of those examples would break me to the point of tears before my run. You know what I mean? I'm not capable.
I can imagine the Red Bull footage, pre-run, everyone else is warming up. They got the thing in the nose, the Albus oil on the spinning bike, and you're just crying.
I'd just be a broken man up there. Just pathetic.
Like the Instagram filter, but it's actually you, just upset.
I would already be I'd already be like, I'd had visions of how many ways I could fuck up my race run before it's even begun. I'll be the first turn fuck up guy for sure. There's not a way. I don't have the mind for it. I think it takes so long to get that mind.
Yeah.
Ethan had a killer run as well, didn't he?
Did have a killer run. Yeah, he's a local boy to you, right? Is he?
Yeah.
He's Southern.
What's he? He came in at 7th.
Finished 7th overall. Yeah.
7th overall. And Gwyn,
dude, it's good to see Gwyn as well. Yeah,
so
Gwyn
good.
in 4th.
So good to see him back, isn't it? Yeah. I get a warm, fuzzy feeling when Greg or Gwyn or, one of the old school lot does well. I'm just I like it. I don't know why. This is the first non-French podium, I think, for a little while, eh?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Good point. Hey, while we're on this subject, actually, so I think we'll manage to talk about this before it happens. I can't remember. World Champs. So, interesting thing, because we've got World Champs and then we've got another World Cup. So you're going to have, are the people in the running for the World Cup overall going to be playing a little bit safe at World Champs? Amaury, for example. Finn's, doesn't it go Amaury then Finn, and it all comes down to the Val di Sole, I believe. Val di Sole, whatever we call it. So, does that mean for a better race? Here's my prediction, genuine prediction, that Bernard Kerr will win World Champs.
Wow. I mean, how? Fucking World
I don't know why.
World Champs.
I'm just feeling it for him, man.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it for him. I really am.
Way,
like
Tiger's
we've got
coming, dude. Like World Champs, it's going to be tough. The G-Wagon's going to be painted rainbow stripes. It's going to be like the Tiger's probably going to be rainbow stripes. Dude.
I don't know. There's a feeling, and I want to keep going with this momentum for him. And I think us wishing him all this positivity will send all that positive energy to him.
Be the dream. It would be the dream.
Wouldn't it? I just feel like there is an opportunity there that some of them play it a little bit safe. I don't know. Probably not going to. Let's be honest. It's World Champs. They're going to want to win it. But I just think I don't know. There's something about that race that could.
He was messaging me just before his quali run. He was messaging me because I was walking his dogs, and they shit.
We're riding Bernard pretty hard, aren't we? These last few weeks.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
It's like the appreciation podcast.
Yeah, it's true. He messaged me anyway. I was taking his dogs out for a walk, and I didn't have the heart. I could just imagine him up at the top with a turbo trainer, worrying about his dogs going out for a walk. They had a shit in his room. I'm going to be honest. They had a shit in his room, and I couldn't tell him. I couldn't bring myself to tell him. So he knows now, anyway. I cleaned it up as well as I could.
You should have left him like a. If you don't win, I'm leaving this shit in your house. If you win, I'm going to clean it up.
Exactly. No, I couldn't be more stoked. Obviously, I don't know whether I'll still be as much of a fan of. I don't know if I'll follow the World Cup season with such enthusiasm when my friends no longer race, but it is so exciting to see someone, because you see how much work they put in. It just gives you a bit of context and it makes you realise how much goes into it when you live around these people and
No, it's awesome, dude, and the storylines that come out of it are great, and it makes it even more entertaining for us, doesn't it, and our listeners. When we've got a horse in the race. We have got a bit of a horse in the race.
Yeah, we've got a tiger in the race
with this one. We've got a tiger in the race, yeah.
Dude, I think we just did World Cup chat.
Yeah, I think we did.
Nice.
Good race.
Hell of a race.
Good race. Fucking great race.
Looking forward to the next.
Yeah, me too. Hyped for it.
I think
so. World Champs is World Champs is the weekend I'm away.
Yeah.
On holiday, but I get back, so we'll be able to talk about it on that Monday.
Excellent. Look forward to it.
And then we've got a race after that, which is September, I believe. So
got a short.
That's the week after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be good. We can cover it a little bit.
And that will be
Thank God.
How cool is it?
Because no doubt people are tuning in for race talk, right? Of course.
Of course they are. They don't want us to hear. They don't want to hear about me getting attacked, do they? They want to hear about the races.
They want to hear about the races. They want inside knowledge. Hey, actually, it doesn't matter. I saw it's a listener question, so I'll leave it. Don't matter. We can talk about it in a sec.
Let's go on to listener questions.
Should we do some listener questions? So big up everyone as well who always sends in these questions. Helps a lot. We're going to be recording another episode tomorrow, Sunday Monday, which will be coming out towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd just do a listener questions one, and then we can probably talk about getting beat up by homeless people again tomorrow.
Yeah, why not?
Who knows? Yeah.
Didn't get beat up, dude. I dodged it. Don't change it.
Yeah, sorry.
Come on, man. Look at this.
Okay, so should we do some list of questions? See what we've got in here. I've just opened it up for the second time. I did have a quick look last night, but holy shit, look at this. Big up everyone for this. This is so cool.
Yeah, we've got a lot to get through, dude. We've got a lot.
There's a lot of questions there. Big up everyone for doing that. It's appreciated.
Nice.
It helps. Okay. Here we go.
Listen to questions.
Should we just work our way all the way down?
Yeah, why not?
Almost. We'll try and do almost all of them.
Yeah. Let's try and avoid
T.
too many of the sort of snog, marry, avoids.
Yeah, there's none
Let's
of
try and
that.
get onto
We'll avoid those.
Like hard-hitting issues.
Yeah, okay. At Bob T. Knob, the effects of shrouding videos on local trails / bike parks. Interesting.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is tough.
And why is it tough? It's because they can often blow corners out. Dude, let me tell you this. All right. We're going on a slightly different tangent. I was going to bring this up tomorrow. So I rode yesterday for the first time the new Steel City track in Grenoside.
Nice.
Not ridden it before. Went up there for the race, for the Petey's race. Obviously, the buzz was very much. This is insane. It's so fast, and it's fast.
Yeah.
It's so fast. It's almost
good track.
Ridiculous. Great track.
Excellent.
Really fun, but same time, too fast for some people. And we were there for about 2 hours. We saw one ambulance and two absolutely massive crashes to the point where I thought we're having an air ambulance in here. So, yeah, and I think a slightly different topic, I know, but
it's a tough one, isn't it? Because ultimately, I really struggle with it because you just end up, if you build stuff, you just end up building stuff for everyone else because you don't want to be responsible for making something that hurts people, you know. It's really difficult.
This is a crazy one, dude, because there's a relatively big jump on this Steel City track, which you might have seen on social media and stuff, but it's basically right in the middle of the course. There's two different options. You can either do it or you can't.
And this is a fully legal track.
Yep, fully legal track, but there is a decent sized jump on this track where it's one of them where you're like, actually, this is
to think about it.
Sizable. You've got to think about it, and it's obviously inspiring a lot of people not to think about it too much and to just hit it. And it's pretty sharp landing too. It's a real jump, dude. Like it's real. Like it's a real thing. You know, it's not one of those where you're just like, yeah, whatever, we'll just coast over it. Like it's a hip to get into it. The whole thing. It's pretty fucking cool.
So the question, I don't have an answer to this question, but I'm going to put it out there. Does the fact that it's legal, mean that you don't approach it with the same caution that you might if you knew that it was just a trail in the woods? You don't know who's built it, because really you should approach all of these trails in the same manner. You don't know what's going on. You should chill for the first bit. You don't know. You know, I'm not.
True.
I don't practice what I preach, but I'm just saying, in theory.
Yeah, just because it's legal doesn't mean it just flows perfectly, is what you mean, I guess.
The problem with legal trails is that I think that people immediately assume that it's just safe. It's just like, I don't have to look at it. They've built it. It's sort of just that void of responsibility. You are responsible for looking and working out if you can do this. It shouldn't be the trail builder's responsibility, really, and it shouldn't be, if it's an official trail, it shouldn't be. I guess this is where trail grading comes in, etc. But I still think, regardless of trail grading, I still think people just go in and just approach it like, well, it's built for me, so I can do it. Whereas it's not quite as simple as that, is it?
No, it's not quite as simple as that.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Yeah. Well, we're on to
great answer to the.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Great
answer to my question.
The shroud thing, it doesn't really. I think as long as you're actually going that quick, but I just see so many videos now that 10 psi. There's a pressure police and
I've seen that.
Yeah, and
back brake police as well.
Yeah, the pressure thing is so tough because you see it, especially it's a real thing in Europe. Is like a brap off, and that just means put your rear tyre down to 10 psi and then inside a turn, and it's not cool. I don't even look at it and think it's cool. I don't know. It's tough for me. I don't find it good at all. And it does. And that, in that case, you're ruining a turn for no reason. If you're going so quick that you blow out a turn, I mean, there were no trail builders at Mont St Anne stood at the side of the track getting pissed off with Amory, were there? You know what I mean? He was bombing and he whacked the turn and he went down and he blew it out. Yes, but that's racing. That's riding.
He was going that fast. Yeah.
That's a different thing to letting your tyre down 10 psi, insiding,
yeah,
blowing the top
just
out,
for Instagram.
You can't do stuff just for Instagram. It's tough, eh? I appreciate I
Great
survive
answer.
on Instagram, but I don't do that stuff.
Okay, at Ian Smithson, what's your favourite Rob Warner line from the World Cup? Mine is like a kangaroo on a trampoline.
Yeah, I like that. That was brilliant. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
there weren't that many this weekend, I don't think.
No,
I can't remember any.
No.
Nothing jumped out at me, to be honest with you. I feel like last week the Freecaster days came back a little bit. Maybe he was asked to wind it in. I don't know.
Oh mate,
but
actually, yeah, it's good that you brought that up because at the end of the broadcast. Did you watch the end of the broadcast?
No, I don't think so.
So at the end of the broadcast, Rob and Elliot were talking, and it was so sad because Rob's still got world champs in another round to go.
And do you think they'll use him for world champs? Because sometimes it's on weird TV, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's on like BBC and stuff.
Yeah, I think they will.
We get like what's he called, Jasper Carrot commentating.
You get Matt from Blue Peter commentating.
It's Matt Baker off Blue Peter.
Who else can we get?
He's coked up.
Keith Chegwin.
I think he's dead.
Is he? Oh no, I didn't mean. Sorry.
Cheggers.
But I was anyway. At the end of the broadcast, it was Warner and Elliot talking, and it was the last round that Elliot was commentating, and Elliot's been brilliant. I think Elliot offers real insight. He's a World Cup racer,
fantastic,
and he's just his persona itself is just positive, and he brings so much to it. And I was just like,
he does.
Oh fuck, no more. I want to tune in. I want to listen. We've already flogged it, but
yeah,
it makes me realise how much. Yeah, we're gonna miss it. We still got 2 more rounds. Let's enjoy them.
We have flogged it, but hey,
it's
a big thing.
It's a big thing. It is a big thing.
Yep,
absolutely.
Okay. At Dave Robinson, you are?
I can't remember what the question was.
Favourite Rob Warner line.
Kangaroo, I like that one. Kangaroo on trampoline.
Yeah, that's a good one. The angry as a wasp at a picnic. That was great.
Good, yeah.
I mean, look at the time's always. I mean, you could even at this race, he came in with look at the time, right, for Finn's run, I think.
Yeah. You're just waiting for it, aren't you? You just wait. It's so good. It's so good. It's transcended our sport as well. Hamilton gets look at the time from his race engineer because of Rob Warner.
So good.
So sick, yeah.
Yeah. Class. Okay, at Dave_Robinson1. Any tips for someone starting in the industry?
Davey, I think you're...
Adult industry?
Don't have many tips.
The industry.
The industry, the bike industry.
Let's go bike industry.
What would you say? I think you've got some good insight here.
Yeah, probably have to be fair. Any tips for someone starting in the industry? I mean, it depends. If you're trying to get into the industry, the easiest way to get into the bike industry seems to be to start at a local bike shop. That way you can establish a knowledge of the industry. And the most important thing, depending on what you want to work in, obviously, is you get to meet reps who work for certain brands or companies where you can start asking about jobs. It is quite a... I wouldn't say cliquey, I don't like that word, but like... It definitely is a little bit, once you're in, people don't seem to leave. And they seem to float around a little bit within same job, but different company and different brands and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'd say I'd also say as well, like, just shoot your shot. Like, keep an eye out. LinkedIn's really good for looking at bike industry jobs. Get your CV into various brands or distribution companies. Yeah, it's the same as any job, dude. Isn't it really?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
if you want to work in any marketing job, or if you want to be if you want to be an architect, you start at the bottom and you work your way up.
Yeah. Do you know what I would say might be good advice? What I would say definitely is good advice is that don't do the same as everyone else. Bring your own angle. This is stale and stagnant. If you just keep doing what the bloke before you did, or what you've seen, what Gary used to do, what Sheila used to do, if you just do the same thing, if you come at your own angle, maybe you can bring something from another part of your background, or
Totally.
that sort of stuff
Yeah.
is what I look out for, because I've got to say it's you know, however, wherever you're planning on working, it's quite a broad question really, so we don't know whether he's talking about photography or if he's talking about brand management or design, but
you've got to stand out. You've
Yeah.
got to be different.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't always have to I always say you don't always have to be the best. You just have to be different.
yeah.
I am interrupting this mind-blowingly good podcast to talk to you about something really important and to potentially save you some cash. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see that I'm sat here clinging on to one of my beloved bicycles, and that's because the thought of losing it is actually terrifying to me. It just makes me think of all of those days I wouldn't be out shredding, clearing my mind, hanging out with friends, and maybe even entering the odd race. Now, none of this stuff is possible without a bike. So, thankfully, you don't have to hold on to your bike 24/7 because Lacquer has your back. There's a reason Lacquer was voted best cycle insurance provider for 4 years running. And some of those things include theft. Now, did you know a bike is stolen every 6 minutes in Great Britain, with 54% of thefts being from the home? With Lacquer, both bikes and accessories, helmet, clothing, etc. are covered from theft from anywhere in the world, but also from places closer to home, such as in your car. One of the things that Lacquer do, which I find amazing, is accidental damage and vandalism. Your bike is covered, as well as your clothing and accessories. Now, that means helmets, whether it's full face, trail helmet, and even your clothing is going to be covered with Lacquer. Now, to me, that's pretty cool because this sort of stuff isn't cheap these days. Your bike and all your equipment is also covered at races and events, and there's also third-party loss too. So if an airline or courier loses all your stuff, Lacquer got you. You're covered. Some of the awesome things as well that I didn't know, but I do now, and you're going to know now, there's no contract think about that for a second. One of the things that definitely put me off insurance in the past was signing up to a contract, the massive excess. But with Lacquer, there is no contract tying you down. You can pause or cancel at any time. There is also zero excess, so that hopefully doesn't put you off claiming. No depreciation. The original value is what gets paid out in a claim. The claims process is handled by a team of bike nerds too. Now, again, super important, probably overlooked. Someone that you speak to on the phone is going to understand what you're going through. They're going to understand the value of that bike, and they're going to understand what it means to you to get it sorted as quick as possible. Claims are normally dealt with within a day. Now, all this sounds like a hell of a product, right? Well, it's about to sound even better. If you would like the chance to win a whole year's free insurance, then simply click the link in the show description. You know what they say, folks, you gotta be in it to win it. And I would love, genuinely, I and Ollie, who's not here because we went a little hard last night, would love one of the companionship to win this, like to save you that hassle, that heartbreak of losing a bike. So you have until the end of this month, which is July, to get entered. So if you're not already entered, folks, click that link in the show description. Someone's got to win this 1 year's free insurance. Now, if you're listening to this after July, then you can still get a rad offer from the folks at Lacquer. Just enter the code RIDECOMPANION30, and that's going to get you 30 days free insurance. Again, that's code RIDECOMPANION30 for 30 days free insurance. And if you don't know where to go, it's lacquer.co. So again, all the W's .lacquer.co. Simple and easy to find, folks. Just Google Lacquer. Again, all the links are in the show description, and thankfully, I can put this bike back where it should be, knowing it's safely insured. Thanks, Lacquer, and thanks everyone for their support. So, just as a bit of context, the way I got my first job in the industry was in the motorcycle industry, in the motocross industry, and I literally called up a distributor that I kind of had figured out they didn't have any sales reps in the north, and just said, you need a sales rep in the north, and I can do it. Can I come and meet you?
Yeah, that's cool. Initiative.
And I drove down south to meet them, and that was it. You just use your initiative.
Yeah.
You just stand out from the crowd. Get on the phone. That's another thing. Big thing that. Don't just sit behind a laptop and email people. Go out your way. Get on the phone. Fuck it. If you're that keen on being in the bike industry, drive to a distribution company. Drive to a brand. Knock on the door. Say you want to meet people. Like, just stand out. Show initiative.
Yeah. And there are so many ways in. Absolutely. The question is, super broad. But I often think if all of the answers are directly in front of you a lot of the time. So I think it's great to look at other industries. I think is one of the most refreshing things. If you just look at what's currently out there, let's say you're in a marketing role and you just look at how everyone else is marketing their bikes. That's not how you make any impact. If we're talking about really making change or doing something right, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It's completely personal to you. I like Nike. If I wanted to change something and I'd go and look at Nike, you can just take bits from Nike, for instance, and then you've got another interest over here that maybe you can take something from this social media channel that you follow that you really like, and then maybe you take something from this print ad from a company from when you were younger, when you used to like squash. You know, it doesn't have to just be the same old shit churning out. I think it's easy to get caught in those things. Even sales approach, anything, I think is good to look outside the box. That's what I'd say.
I have a separate email address that I use for signing up to marketing emails.
Yeah.
Just because I love looking at them.
Yeah,
sometimes, like, there's certain brands that I really like. I mean, I think they're called DB now, but douchebags, for example, for me, are just kill it. Their marketing's so good that I have a separate email address that all goes to, and then I'll just go into it just for inspiration. And then that's what I use to build out our mail shots and stuff.
Absolutely, it's good I think that's a great way to, not just pigeonhole yourself and think that you've got to do what everyone else thinks you've got to do. Ultimately, anyone who's employing you is going to be way more stoked if you bring something to the table. Bring something to the table. Yeah.
Bring something to the table. Yeah, bring something to the table.
Fuck, we're
That's
wise,
a great
dude.
way.
Yeah, we're wise.
Yeah. Go to events, take some gifts, get yourself in there, do a bit of brown nosing.
I move like fucking you know,
Yeah,
actually
he's smart
wise
as well.
Yeah, so
Physically quick,
yeah,
mentally quick.
wisdom all in there, and then it still moves at that pace that you can't keep up with.
Mate,
It's
yeah,
never on
unbelievable
the centre line,
movement.
It's always off the centre line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Matty Baker, 1985. Where's Bren?
Bren is working on something that we cannot talk about yet, but we will get him on to talk about it when he's ready. But you're right, it's weird seeing Bren not at the World Cups, but yeah, he has.
Yeah, I feel like Mountain St Anne would have been a good track for Brendan.
Yeah, I agree, but don't worry, he'll be back. He's Brendog is still very much firing on all cylinders.
Perfect. Explosive Club. Is pimping your ride with bright aftermarket parts cool, necessary, or waste of money?
Davey, over to you.
Okay, so I'm not bike pimp guy. Never have been, never will
But
be.
you
I'm
have a
pretty
company
much...
that-
Wait. Yeah, but... Unless you buy it from hookitproducts.co.uk, code podcast gets 10% off everything on site. Yeah, okay, you've made a fair point there. I think, but with Hookit, we only sell stuff that actually protects a bike.
Yeah.
And everything that we sell, we don't sell anything over 50 quid, dude.
Okay, there you go, yeah.
You know, but I agree though, in a way, but I've got myself in a bit of a tongue twister here. But I've never been a fan of like bright purple, green, blues all over a bike. I've just never been into it. Personally, I like to buy a bike and it pretty much stays standard, apart from if you really, really need to upgrade something. Let's say the bars are not wide enough.
DMI,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, not DMI. Okay, you got to get some 800 length bars, the wing bar. You got to get a stem. Pedals are the same, but I'd never personally buy coloured pedals. I'd always buy. I am that guy.
Yeah, it's interesting,
black.
isn't it? I hear what you're saying. I think ultimately we're just talking about something that is the answer is to each their own.
I think, but some people love it. Like some people absolutely froth over getting, they want the Hope this, they want DMR, blue this, Death Grips in this colour, trying to name all the sponsors. But
I think it's cool.
Yeah, each to their own.
Put loads of effort into their bikes. I really like it. I think it makes this, it adds this sort of like model making element to the sport, which probably does help the entire industry. And I think if that's what gets you going, do it.
There's worse things you can waste your money on, that's for sure.
It's not a waste. It's not a waste. If you're happy on the hill, then it's worth doing.
Yeah.
What's the code
it's
again?
Great. Podcast gets 10% off everything on site. Haven't we got one for DMR as well?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, only on the. Wait, no, we haven't done that ad yet. It's coming up.
We haven't done that ad yet. It's coming up. We've got a DMR code coming up, folks. Hold tight.
Yeah.
At Tim from Wales, the man, the myth, the legend, who isn't from Wales, is from Wales, don't live in Wales. Quite confusing. Curry sauce, tomato sauce, or mushy peas with your chips. Ooh, what do they have down south? I feel like all those are northern. Do they have something weird in the south that I never think of, like ravioli or something?
Ravioli with your chips.
Pesto.
Pesto. So what? So the options again, they are curry sauce, gravy,
tomato sauce, or mushy pea. Oh, gravy's not on there. So gravy's not on there. Which, I don't know why you'd miss gravy.
Curry sauce would be a novelty for me because it's not. I'm all about the sauces, dude. I couldn't eat chips without sauce. I don't think actually.
Yeah, that's fair.
Could you?
Yeah, it depends which chips. They got, sometimes you get the real good, like triple fried or triple cooked, whatever they call them, with like some really good quality salt.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit crispy on the edge, but they're firm on the inside. That way, I'll enjoy that potato.
Would you for the whole,
all the way down the back of my neck
for a whole portion, just potatoes? There you go. I'm just not about that life. I like this. Yeah, I want it to be.
What's your all-time favourite dipping sauce?
Shall I go and get it?
Please.
I've got a good one now. This is since I lost all my taste buds. I like hot stuff. I'll go and get it.
All right. Please, yeah, go get it. While Ollie's gone, I'll tell you this: that my favourite dipping sauce is mayonnaise and tomato ketchup mixed together. And I recently saw that Heinz now makes that exact concoction in one bottle. I was just thinking, Ollie, wouldn't it be cool if it wouldn't? It'd be really annoying if you were like, "I'll just go get it," and you never came back.
That'd be a tough break for you, wouldn't it?
And I was just like filling
about sauce
for ages. I end up talking about death and stuff.
The sauce on your deathbed.
Yeah, we know how that goes.
Right, this is I really like this. It's pretty hot.
Okay, it's blurry obviously for me,
Okay,
so what
it's
we talking?
Aunt
What's in
May's
it?
Pepper sauce. It's a Barbados pepper sauce.
Ooh,
Really
like
into that.
mango-y.
Now, that
Fruity as
is-
well.
Yeah, it's amazing. Let me see what it says on it. Does it have a good...
Oh, it's got to have mango in it.
I'll save you the my Barbados accent. It's just called pepper sauce, but it's so nice. From the land of... Here we go. By the way, this is not podcast sponsor. We do not have a code for this one.
Code.
Right, Aunt May's story. From the land of fierce pirates, ancient Arawaks, and Carib tribes, comes the popular range of Aunt May's exotic island food products. Right? Wherever you wish to add captivating Caribbean taste to your barbecue, cocktail dip, soups, meat, or fish, Aunt May's homemade products enhance the flavour of every dish. And literally nothing about the actual sauce itself. So sorry about that last bit.
Fantastic.
But it's a pepper sauce. It's very hot, and what I normally do is I mix that with tomato ketchup, so that can answer Tim's question. We'll just go tomato ketchup. It's just the bog standard, isn't it? I like tomato ketchup.
Tomato sauce. If you could imagine right now in your head where that sauce is made, what does it look like? Like the actual where it is. Like where does that sauce come out of? What door does it come out
I
of?
just imagine that Aunt May, she's got a shack on the beach in Barbados.
Tin up, yeah.
And she's got this big cauldron. And she's just in there,
She's singing.
She's really like enjoying the job. And the reality is, it's actually made there we go, brilliant. Oh no! It started bad.
Please.
Newton Industrial Park. I was like, it's going to be Slough. But no, Christchurch. And then I was like, wait a minute. Barbados.
Two of them.
So it is made in Barbados.
Wow.
I mean, that's gnarly.
There you
It's
go.
sent all the way over. I feel a bit bad now.
I always think that with food. I'm always like, okay, you get like the branding and you're like, okay, where's it from? Like you say, Slough.
Yeah,
You're like,
it's just Croydon.
it's just great marketing.
Oh dear.
Brilliant. Acting from Wales again. Any more merch planned? When will you do another t-shirt drop?
Yeah, man, we got merch coming out of our ears soon, haven't we? Coming out of our ears. You just got to keep listening.
Well, we're trying.
If we're going to tell you when it's dropping, and you'll stop listening. You've got to keep listening. You never know when it's going to come. It's just the same as how quick I am on my feet. It's like you never know when merch is going to come through.
Yeah. Merch comes in quick and leaves quick.
Exactly.
So we'll be dropping something soon. We're working on it. Okay. We'll leave that little hook.
Yeah, I like that.
Matty Baker, 1985. Guys.
He's done multiple questions, hasn't he? It's good.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. Tech or flow?
Go on, you answer that.
I like to sit in the middle. I don't want to be that guy, but after yesterday's experience of flow, I don't feel comfortable sometimes going that fast down a track. Sometimes you just like, this is just, it's a bit silly, you know. I don't know, and I know that's not technically but you know, genuinely that track in Sheffield. If anyone has ridden it, please comment below or reach out. It is so ridiculously fast, and things can go so ridiculously wrong so fast. It's quite scary. You know, you can see you can see. So yeah, at the moment, I'm going to say a bit more techie stuff. To be honest,
it's on my mind.
I just feel a bit more in my comfort zone.
Yeah, I agree with you on speed. It's the thing I noticed the most travelling around riding. It's like the pace, the average speed in the Surrey Hills is not very high. And like you go, like I'm about to go to Whistler, aren't I? And obviously the thing I'm most excited for is Dirt Merchant. Yeah. And that I would guess you would say is flow. But then it's got to be a mix. I really do believe it's got to be a mix. If I just had to ride just flow trails the whole time, I'd be unhappy.
Yeah.
And if I just had to ride I think I'd be more happy on just technical stuff, to be honest. Flow is just like
I
a
think
nice
so.
holiday thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, great question here. Tomato Farmer. Great Instagram handle too. Where do guys like BK and Brendog make the speed difference when you ride with them?
We obviously, before we continue, we would say everywhere. But it's like... No, it is a good question, because I do actually ride with them a lot, and I think I don't have an experience of riding like a downhill bike with those guys.
Okay.
But what I always notice with like racers is they have such amazing line choices that I have to work really hard to emulate and to keep up with. So it's one of the most amazing things to follow a racer when they're going at pace, because it is easier to follow someone than it is to lead them out. And I spend a lot of time in those boys' roost, and the amount of like off track stuff. When you're sat in braking bumps, you better believe a World Cup race is not going to be sat in the same braking bumps. They're going to be on the edge of the track, and they get all their braking done. They don't brake in turns, they get all the braking done before, and they ping off. You might shoot really close to them because they're checking up brakes before just letting off and straight lining a section, and you would never have even thought of it. So it is in a lot of places, but the biggest noticeable difference, I would say, when I ride with really fast racers is line choice.
Right. Great. Good answer.
There you go.
Really good. Enjoyed that. At Tell Your Mother I'm Gone, can you each give a recommendation for a book that changed your outlook on life? That's a great question. Happily go first if you want. Book that I always recommend to people. I can actually grab it, just double checked. I can grab it. Imagine if it was a razzle I brought down. So, The War of Art. Unbelievable book.
Nice.
Look how thin it is as well. The Dream. You don't have to commit from...
Has it got pictures in the middle as well?
It's full of photos. Dude, some of the pages have barely got any writing on. This really is the Dream. This is impactful, and you can read it in one day. So yeah, War of Art.
Sounds good.
Amazing. All about resistance, overcoming your inner demons, about creativity.
Oh, brilliant. That sounds
fantastic.
Good. Great tip. Factfulness for me. Factfulness was the one thing that I really, really felt was good that I read, if you know what I mean. You know, when you read it and you think, God, that's made me... I feel more positive about the world. I feel like things are clearer. Factfulness. I can't remember who it's by, but it's a very well-read book. I'm sure I'm just like... I don't know.
Great.
Best
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That book I'm reading at the moment is good as well. I'm reading Joe Dispenza's book, How to Become Supernatural. It's fantastic.
Nice.
It's really good.
There we go.
Okay, what else we got? Olivia the engineer. Are you going to Malvern's, Ollie?
I think I might be. I don't know. It's tough with dates, but I think I might be. It's a maybe for me at the minute. Non-committal.
So maybe from you, is it?
Very helpful.
Okay, fantastic.
How about you?
It's an absolute zero. It's an absolute no from me. I don't think I'm here. I think I'm on holiday.
Okay.
It must be the... I don't know. We'll see. And sorry, not sound supportive of the Malverns. Great event. I hope everyone has a wonderful time. I just don't think I'm going to be here.
Fair enough. You weren't being non-supportive by going on holiday.
Yeah. Big fan of Cy Patton, whatever. Yeah, big fan. At Bike and Beyond, if energy drinks were no longer able to sponsor mountain biking, who would you pick to replace them?
Marmite. No, I don't know, actually.
Okay. Who would you pick to replace?
I'd probably pick, banks. It just makes sense, doesn't
Money.
it? Because essentially, it's why energy drinks are there as well, why people are hyped to ride for them is the money. And they're out of industry, and it's exciting. I mean, the energy drinks we've got do a fantastic job at making it really... They really do kill it. They're lifestyle brands. They're not really just selling fizzy water. They're selling an entire lifestyle. But if I could just have a bank on my head and a bank in my bank, I'd be stoked with that. How about you?
It's a good one. Yeah, Banks is really good. It's going to be hard to top.
I've got one.
Pfizer.
Hey, make some money.
God, what is it?
I was going to say Tacos, a taco company.
Oh, Old El Paso.
Old El Paso helmet.
Dude, I'll run a taco helmet.
Yeah.
Line it up. I'll get that flour tortilla
Yes.
Bosch right on the side of the
We
Swede.
could even
That'd look
sort
cool.
out a triple branding deal. We get helmet and we get both wheels.
I like
Not
it,
bad.
dude. Old school, like a tortilla.
Yeah. Hopefully it would.
Like a
taco.
quesadilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I like it.
Petrol companies would be cool, I think. I always think motor.
Yeah, they're making loads
They
of money at the
really are
moment. They got
killing
tons
it.
of cash
They're
to throw
really
around.
killing
Yeah, BP just reported record
Triples or
profits, so yeah,
something.
get that in
They
there.
did, didn't they? Fantastic. But I think petrol would be cool because it'd give like a motorsports feel, wouldn't it?
It would. Yeah, motorsports feel be good.
Marlboro cigarette helmet.
Yeah, dude. That'd be cool, wouldn't it, though? On the podium.
I don't smoke. I've never smoked, but there is something that you just can't deny about how cool Marlboro
Yeah, like a
branding.
Steve
are.
McQueen looking
Yeah.
podium. They're all there.
Imagine during the interview, you know, everyone sips from their sippy cups,
Yeah.
like desperately to not get fined. Ooh, quickly, yeah. The track. Imagine just taking a long drag on a Marlboro Red. How was your race run on it?
Or
1 second. Blowing smoke in the camera. I tell you what,
It's a good one. Or if it was like
lately.
Jack Daniels
Yeah,
or
that'd be
something.
nice.
Have I seen them? I mean, what brand? Yeah, they've got like horrible images on the
I
front
mean,
of them.
it's like they couldn't look any worse. It's like
No.
they've gone from being some of the coolest looking like graphic design and branding.
John Player
projects.
Special, dude. How cool was that?
come on.
Brandon. Yeah.
To the worst. They get font guidelines. They get right for a good reason as well. But
Yeah.
gnarly.
Horrible images. Tough to buy
They
that.
should alcohol. They still get to have cool packaging, but I think alcohol should have some crap pictures on there as well.
Probably right.
It's only fair.
Days would make a great World Cup sponsor.
Yeah.
0%. Everyone gets to
They're
drive home safely
Yeah,
afterwards.
exactly. They're allowed to have good packaging, and they do.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's great. We've come up with some really good ones. At Johnny_MCC. Ollie. Any X-Fusion wireless dropper updates? This guy, sorry, I notice this question every week. This guy is absolutely frothing for this dropper. So please, have you got anything we can tell
I've
him?
seen one
Because I
now.
always scroll back.
I've seen one.
Okay.
I don't have one. I was meant to do a launch video on it, but I haven't had one yet. I'm very excited for it. Yeah, no more news. They're coming. I promise they're coming soon.
Okay, this is. I don't know if we've been. It's gonna be our first like spam listener question, I think. So this is coming from genuinely I.E.Ejaculate. So I ejaculate. And it says, and it just says I need. It just says I need some sex tips. That's genuinely what it says right
There we
there.
go. I ejaculate.
I
need some
ejaculate.
Sex tips. Well, it sounds like you've already got the ejaculation part down, so I can't. I mean,
Let me look at the profile. That doesn't seem to stack
I
up.
ejaculate sex tip. Well, if you.
No followers, no posts.
Well, maybe maybe it's because they have a problem with premature ejaculation, and you know,
And for that,
I have nothing. I feel bad for you. I feel sadness for you, and I'm sorry that you have that problem. And I hope that you get it sorted out. Find a way of making it better. The only tip I can give is just think about something that maybe takes you off the subject. You know, like footings.
like this podcast.
Next question. Eh?
You put this podcast on in the background and get busy, you're going to last a while.
You are. Maybe it would.
You're going to last.
Maybe you would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
Okay.
it would be.
At Joel.Liffey. Favourite post-ride snack? That's a great one. Dude, I go hard on the snacks at the moment. It's a bit of a problem, to be honest. Because I, probably like other people, if I've done something hard, like a ride or a run, I can then justify eating something
bad.
pretty bad. Yeah. So, I was pretty tired the other day. Ordered Papa John's pizza.
Did you? Good on
Ate
you.
half. Saved the other half for the other day.
Nothing wrong with cold pizza.
For the
dude.
next day.
Nothing wrong with cold pizza, is there?
Yeah. Because I knew that I was going to do something hard, like a long run, and I wanted to come back and have half a
Good
cold
on you.
pizza. Yeah. Dr. Pepper, that's a bit of advice for me. Dr Pepper's a real vice. Yeah.
Dr Pepper. There's 23 ingredients in Dr Pepper. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that actually.
Look it up, dude.
It's too many.
Fact. I wonder what the 23 ingredients are in Dr Pepper.
Please. It's got a weird flavour that, like, I can't really put my finger on. It's tough to find the cream soda one at the moment as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
What are the 23 ingredients?
There are 23
no.
ingredients to Dr Pepper. Fans speculate that
It's
the
got
flavours
carrot in
are
it.
amaretto, almond, blackberry, black licorice, caramel, carrot, clove, cherry, cola, ginger, juniper, lemon, molasses, nutmeg, orange, prune, plum, pepper, root beer, rum, raspberry, tomato, and vanilla. How was that? That was quite good, wasn't it?
Amazing. I wonder what it tastes like if you take the carrot out. I'm sure it tastes exactly the same.
Is there carrot in there? Did I just read out carrot?
Yeah, it's like carrot, yeah. That's like, you know, when you read the ingredients of wine and what it should taste like, and it's like bitter oaks of charcoal hickory, and you're like, is it?
I tell you what, stand-up paddleboarding can go fuck itself.
Yeah.
Wine can absolutely go fuck itself. I'm really racking them up.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Wine can go fuck itself. Yeah.
Nah. Nah.
Agree
not
to
into-
disagree.
Agree to disagree on that. A good quality, nice red wine, dude. Oh, the dream. Paired with the right food. Oh, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I really don't. I just like I like stuff like that that's got like a
Go on.
I don't know what the word is. It's got like
A sense of bullshit about it.
it's got like a sense of, like a procedure about it, of pouring the wine and smelling the wine.
Okay, yeah, I could.
Like coffee, you know, people are like that with
I can
coffee, right?
appreciate
Like
that, yeah.
trying to taste the, you know, bits of poo in it or whatever they say that's in it.
Yeah, wine. Yeah, for me is wine. Wine for me is like I just feel like it's alcohol, and then we disguise it with all this hoo-ha, oh this and that. People like getting pissed, and if they can hold something that looks fancy, then they'll do it. These are my views. I'm really putting it out there today. Bear in mind,
Okay.
I don't actually know anything, and I don't think I'm right. I feel like you should. I almost feel like I have to say that nowadays before anything I say.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what
I mean, yeah, we should yeah.
If you made it,
Hey,
as
we've all
cheap,
got opinions, and sometimes
Yeah.
they're wrong, just like this one. And that's
Alright,
it.
But if you made wine mega cheap, would there be sommeliers? Would there be people? You know what I mean? If you made wine cheaper than Ribena, if you made Ribena
Yeah.
fucking expensive,
Yeah.
eye-wateringly expensive,
Yeah.
what would change? I think something would. I think that this is my theory personally, that wine.
You think people would become like Ribena connoisseurs, and they'd be like, if you buy it closer to the factory, it tastes better, that sort of thing.
Just if like someone holding that cup with that smarmy look on their face, swilling it around in a circle. If it was cheap, then would they still be doing that? It's just a thought, dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
the
true.
answer. Would they
Probably
be doing
not.
that?
Probably not.
Who knows? Definitely not me.
yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Remember apricot Ribena? I think that's
decent.
done now.
Yeah,
But
it's gone, isn't it?
that was decent, wasn't
Love me
it?
some
At
Ribena.
Dave Robinson 1. What?
Love me some Ribena. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, I like Ribena. At Dave Robinson 1. What's the best and worst thing about working in the bike industry?
I guess it's a great question, but I think it's very. You have to get a balance, and I'm sure you'd agree. You have to get a balance between the thing that is your passion and that you enjoy and that motivates you in life. If it then becomes all-encompassing, and I do tread the line quite closely at times. All my friends are riders. All elements of my work and my life. As you can see, my house is slightly taken over by bikes. I think it's a dangerous line, and you can get sick of it. When I get injured, I am sick of it.
Yeah. Hey, did you notice Lewis Buchanan's post from today?
No, I didn't know.
Basically, he's out in Whistler for the EWS, and he's literally just posted, I'm just not feeling it, so I'm just not going to race.
Oh, there you go.
It's just like, my mental health isn't right, and like, I just don't feel like it's the right thing to do. And it's a similar thing, in a way.
Yeah.
and kind of bring it full circle. That sometimes you just get sick of it because it's all you see.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think
that's
Katie
definitely for
Winston
me.
had that
I've
as
been
well.
through that.
Yeah, absolutely, like burnout.
Really?
Yeah.
Just get burnout. It's all you talk about. It's all you see, and especially when you attach stress and financial issues to that, it's been tough. Like for me, definitely. It's only quite recently that I've really found that balance again, and I've got over it. But yeah, and there's that, and then the best thing's got to be the people as well. Like you meet amazing people. Hopefully, everyone's in it for the right reasons. The whole thing evolves around a hobby and a passion sport, which is great. Which I guess you're not going to find in a lot of other industries.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think you're spot on. I think the most important thing in all of it is just remembering what the simple joy is of it. You know, that would be my advice. Like, make sure you keep hold of that. That's mega precious, because before you could easily ruin the thing that keeps you sane. You could just ruin it. So I always feel really conscious of that. I feel like it's a duty. It's actually a sensible thing to make sure I always enjoy it. I always try and remember exactly the pure joy. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Great question.
At Charlie_Wilson15. Davey. It's nice, thank you. Will you do any athlete interviews again? It's a great question. Will I do any athlete? Maybe, yeah, I'd like to. We've talked about it before. Again, now we're going to be branching this thing out, having a spot. Yeah, definitely would like to do something maybe once a month. Just do like my own little thing, maybe. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't think I'd do... Yeah, I like to do Davey Meets. I wouldn't go down the athlete route there. I feel like sometimes we can do that better than what I could just do on my own. I'd rather just do stuff that's a little bit more out of industry.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I think that'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah, I always love the stuff that I've done in the past about meditation or diets and, that sort of stuff, health and wellness. So, yeah, I'd like to do that. Maybe it might be a little bit fringe, kind of connected to the sport, but kind of not. So, yeah, Davey Meets might happen. Hopefully, Ollie Meets is going to happen as well.
Absolutely.
Ollie Meets. It's got a ring to it. Boilet91. Favourite two-stroke dirt bike?
Two-stroke.
All right, I've got straight away. I've got one.
I bet you have, yeah.
I think it was Splitfire. Ooh. Yeah, Splitfire KX125s from back in the day. Did a Splitfire, or also the Yamaha of Troy YZ125 cool, and 250s. Yeah. They were fucking dope. That was the first time that you ever saw like the speckly sort of like, what's the word? Graphics where it's like
dots in them. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Oh mate. Those things were the tree.
Yeah,
holographic. Yeah. Holographic graphics. That was the first time I ever saw that. But yeah, going back to like late 90s KX125s, YZ125s. That year that you had like Talon Voland on the pro circuit Kawasaki's, they were the ones for me. They've always built insane bikes every year.
I had my first bike was a KX125, and it was a 92 KX125, and the graphics I wanted were the Chevy trucks. James Stewart
like
ones.
The Bubba Stewart ones.
That's what I was really after, the James Stewart Chevy truck graphics. I thought that would be.
Yeah, that's good marketing. That still to this day we still think about it. Still, if I see a Chevy truck, that is the image that comes to my mind. James Stewart, pink kit, that bike.
That's the shit.
That's the image.
That's so sick. Yeah, and then he had, I think he had like black Talon wheels, didn't he? Or I can't remember what the wheels were, but they were black, and I remember thinking, because that was just after market.
Yeah,
had that, or the XL maybe it was. I can't remember.
Yeah. The XL black wheels. Yeah. Oh mate.
Dream.
Yeah, some good two strokes. That's for sure.
Bernard's 500s.
I remember. Yeah, 500s are up there. Dude, they're minty as well. You've seen how much those things are these days? Holy, you cannot find one of those for under 10 grand.
Insane.
That's crazy. Yeah. For an absolute death trap.
Yeah. Shocking, those things.
Should we just do a couple more? Flint.Stone. Will Rage Against the Machine be the best gig I've ever been to?
Yes. I mean, I can only imagine they do a good job, right?
Yes.
It's
honestly one of the best gigs I've ever been to. I've got a great story about a Rage Against the Machine gig. So remember when Rage Against the Machine got Christmas #1?
Yeah, what was that? Was that Testify?
Killing it.
testify.
No, they got Christmas number one because there was a campaign so that Simon Cowell didn't get it. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And all the money went to charity.
That is so cool.
And it must have been killing in the... No. What was it now? Are you finding it?
Wake Up?
That's brilliant if you are. No.
Yeah, it was Killing in the Name of You. Yeah, well done. Yeah.
Killing the name of. So there was a campaign which was really one of the first, for what I remember, social media campaigns where everyone rallies together, everyone bought the album, streamed the album, and got it to Christmas number one, just so Simon Cowell didn't get it.
Good.
And then Rage Against the Machine said they were going to do a one-off gig to celebrate, which they did in London, and it was really difficult to get tickets for. And I've got a really geeky friend who had about 4 or 5 laptops set up, all with automatically refreshing browsers, and he managed to get like 6 or 7. I think it was 6 tickets he got.
Oh wow!
Obviously, they went on sale and they sold out straight away. So I went down to London, as you can imagine, with a Rage Against the Machine gig, super busy. People broke in. It was an absolute shit show. And one of the craziest things, dude. I'm stood there, Rage Against the Machine are on. I'm just stood there. We're all dancing around a little bit, and there's a guy at the side of me who I obviously don't know, just a random dude in the crowd, who I hear this smash and he just falls flat to his face. And a bottle had been thrown from a bloody long way back. It had hit him on the back of the head, and he's literally, dude, was shoulder to shoulder, and he's just gone, bosh, and just hit the floor. Blood spurting out everywhere, and I'm just like...
What did you do?
That's the closest thing ever. Well, obviously, we've like... if it was me, it can't have been me actually. My friend took his shirt off. He's got that wrapped round his head. You know, everyone's like rallying round, trying to get him out. And yeah, he got him out, and
you weren't attempted.
Took care of him.
You weren't tempted to sort of like mosh on him.
No, I think he'd gone a bit far. You know what I mean?
It's gone a bit too far.
You're allowed to push a little bit in that situation, but glassing someone is
terrifying,
too far.
Goodness.
Dude, literally right at the side of me, like gnarly. So yeah, great gig though, unbelievable gig. I always remember the start of it. It's something to probably go back and watch on YouTube, when it was this video about basically overcoming and beating Simon Cowell, and it was really inspirational,
cool,
motivational. They came on and it was fire.
Yeah, that's well
really good.
I remember the Matrix movie when they kind of made Rage Against the Machine famous, didn't they, with Wake Up?
Yeah.
But just that movie itself was so cool. And when you think about it, I loved the Matrix. It just made you, like, back then, maybe it was my age or maybe it was a time thing, but it really made me think the Matrix did. And it seems more than ever that, you know, when I was young, I didn't think.
Is the Matrix the red or blue pill?
Yeah. I mean, it seems so relevant now. When you think about the Matrix now, if we watch the Matrix now, all the graphics would be shite, but the message itself is pretty cool, isn't it? And
I watched it not that long ago because I'd never seen it.
Oh, really? Yeah, there you go.
I've only seen it once.
Up your street, though, right? It's fucking rad. Makes you think about the world and everything, and I feel like we've moved closer to the Matrix.
Definitely.
Than back then.
Hey, dude, actually, we could talk about this on another episode coming up, but we've just in our household, we've just taken the plunge and the TV has gone.
Oh, nice.
It's gone.
Nice.
Yeah, we've gone for it, dude. It's done.
Up then, isn't it?
That's kind of what I'm hoping doesn't happen. But yeah, in theory it should. But yeah, dude, we've taken the plunge. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm pretty stoked, to be honest.
Some puzzles.
Exactly. What else we got?
We haven't got through all of those.
No, we haven't.
I like
I'm just trying to pick out a couple of bangers.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus. Sorry.
That's all right. I've got good watching and listening, by the way. Well.
Oh, please throw it in there while I've just totally stalled reading these questions. I'm really sorry for the dead air there.
No, well, I'll explain. My watching is called Mindhunter, Netflix. Obviously, it's not for you anymore because you've got no TV. But to our listeners,
still got Netflix though.
Okay, perfect. It's called Mindhunter, and it follows. I think there's elements of truth in it, but I've always found it fascinating, like criminal psychology. I don't know why. There's a book actually. I think it's Puzzle Man. I'd have to get it. I'd find out what it is, but it was about psychological profiling based on crimes, which doesn't necessarily instantly jump out as something that's interesting, but it really gets me. And this Mindhunter follows like the early days of the FBI working out psychological profiling. So they take these horrific crimes and they can picture together it's them practicing the art of making a picture of what the criminal is like. So whether it's
wow.
and they were really, really good at it from early on, only by interviewing serial killers. They coined the term serial killer, and all of these different things that you kind of take for granted now. You'd think like, well, obviously the police think, who is this person? But the police didn't back then. They were evidence based. This is almost like.
Is it a new series or has it been around?
I think it's pretty new on Netflix. Yeah, I think it's pretty new, but it's brilliant. And there's like, it's around the Charles Manson era. I couldn't tell you what period of time that is, but it's really
60s.
cool. It is really, really cool, and it follows crimes, and it's also, it kind of goes into. I mean, it can't be good for you doing those jobs. Those jobs, I know a few people that do pretty gnarly jobs, and it's very difficult to do these gnarly jobs and not let it have a negative effect on your life. And really good series. Anyway, I binged it because my ankle's been hurting, so I nailed a few episodes recently.
I might check that out, actually, dude.
Really good.
I might check that out.
Yeah.
I watched Chris Hemsworth's got a documentary on Discovery. No, it's actually on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
And it's about sharks. So I didn't know Chris Hemsworth was a really big surfer, and he's really good friends with like Mick Fanning, and he goes out and he looks into sharks and basically what they are, why do they come and try and kill people and stuff like that. Yeah. But they don't really. That's kind of the point of it. They don't do it very often.
Yeah. Oh wow, that sounds well good. Yeah, I'll write that down.
It's a good one. And also, the Shania Twain documentary on Netflix is fantastic.
Is it?
Yeah, it's right good, dude.
So what did she do?
I mean, I like country music.
That don't impress me much, right?
Shania Twain's documentary is awesome. Really good. What a woman. Came from nothing to be the most popular, biggest selling artist of all time for women.
Don't get me wrong, I think she's alright. But that won't keep me warm in the middle of the night.
Yeah. That don't impress me much.
Yeah.
You can kiss your cock at night.
I can't remember anymore lyrics. Sorry. Blank.
It's alright.
I listened to Sheryl Crow the other day. I like me some Sheryl Crow. Yeah, there's that one.
Dude, Shania Twain goes hard, man.
Listen. Yeah, good. Well, we've got watching and listening there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. I have been listening to some more Shania Twain. Okay, let's do a couple more.
Yes.
Okay, there's two really good ones from the same person, so we'll end on these.
Perfect. I've enjoyed this episode, dude. I love the listener questions.
Me too. No, I like listener questions. Thank you. Yeah. At Bryn Appleton, thoughts on Instagram trying to be like TikTok and getting rid of video posts. Ooh. So I didn't notice this until just the other day. Yeah. I didn't know they were getting rid of it totally. So I tried to post a video of our extended intro, and it wouldn't let me do it. It had to go on as a reel.
Interesting. Yeah.
So they've extended the length of reels so you can have up to 5 minutes, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I mean, all of it seems to be changing so much, doesn't it? I don't know. You just got to plough on, keep trying. Just keep trying.
Yeah. I think as long as you just don't sell your soul and start posting stupid shit just to get views, because it's evident that if it's really difficult to build a platform, and a following, but there's obviously a way of doing it that if you're willing to sell your soul a little bit and make silly videos and do silly dances and do loads of editing, put it to a track that's really popular, you can do it. But
you won't believe what happened next with that. That
you've also got to check yourself before you sell yourself out, haven't you? And
wreck yourself. Yeah, you're right. Mate, it's really, there's that horrible. I don't even want to. I want to keep things light-hearted, but there's that poor kid was found. There was something called a blackout challenge on TikTok. Have you heard about this? It's a really sad story, but kids have been dying doing this blackout challenge. And I've got to say, it's like an episode of Black Mirror. So this is like some strangulation thing. I don't even know. I don't even want to look into it because it's so dumb. But it makes you question everything. It makes you think about censorship and the algorithm, and I don't even want to say it out loud. It's so weird.
No, don't. It's awful. It's terrible.
This blackout challenge is like some strangulation thing, or you make yourself black out, and more than one child has died from it. And it's
a problem.
If you're a kid, you don't understand that there's an algorithm and that it's feeding you more and more things, and then you think this stuff's real and you think it's important. It's so important that stuff doesn't. It can't be that it's horrible.
No,
it is like.
I've done a really good job in my life, I think, since since social media became a thing, of trying to keep my stuff really positive.
Yeah, good.
I only follow people that I mean, surely everyone does that, but certain people, like you just said, do fall into these black holes of these communities and stuff like that. But I really, really try to obviously not go on it that often. But also, when you do go on it, you feel inspired and you feel better than when you went on it. It's tough. It's not easy to do. It's very easy to see some millionaire doing something and you think, fucking hell, my life's shit. I'm sat here doing this. He's driving Ferraris around, but. I don't know. I really, really try.
Yeah, I agree, and I think
it doesn't have to be all bad.
Absolutely. You've got to be aware of it, haven't you?
You have.
Sorry, I made that a real.
Hence the reason for us deciding to get rid of the TV and stuff, though, dude. Because it's like we don't really watch it that often. It's like I heard a quote years ago that was something along the lines of watching TV together isn't a relationship. And I've always thought about it, and it's so true that like just sitting and watching something together, and we getting a little bit personal here, but like we fell into that trap a little bit of, you make dinner, you sit down, you put the TV on, you don't talk for hours, and it's like, but when you do talk, and especially recently, I've been going through some shit, and it's just like it makes you realise how important it is to just sit and just chat, rather than just sit and veg out and just distract yourself from emotion and feeling and
I'm with you.
Stuff like that. So. Yeah, we just decided, you know what, fuck it. Like, we're going to get rid of the TV. Hopefully that inspires anything other than just sitting and vegging out. Yeah, it might. Yeah, it's going to sometimes mean it's easier to pick up the laptop and do work. But at the same time, hopefully you go, you know what, I'm going to sit and read a book. I'm going to go work out in the garden. I'm going to go for a run. I'm going.
Because certainly.
That's
something, don't you? You lose some way of you can't remember when it becomes habitual. You can't remember what you used to do. You know what I mean? It becomes... Yeah, I do agree.
Emma said something really interesting earlier, actually, about... she's been really trying... She's not really ridden a horse that often. Emma's got a horse. She's not really ridden it too often at the moment. And she keeps saying, I don't have time. And then... Same with like playing the piano. She's not been really finding time to do that. And other stuff that obviously she enjoys. And it's the same with me. But then she went, yeah, but it's weird because I've found time to watch all 8 series of Friends over the last month. Yeah. And you add that up and you go, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Time you'll never get it back.
Absolutely.
So you could have done all that stuff.
Just
probably.
need a head torch. Head torch on the horse. Night horse riding. Is that a thing? People do night horsing?
Could be. If it's not.
Night horsing.
It is now.
We could do merch.
Night horsing. Yeah, could do a merch, yeah.
No, you are quite right. You are quite right.
Yeah. Last question. At Bryn_Appleton. Ollie. Talk us through what you do at DMR. I'm interested to hear more about it.
Cool. So at DMR, I've obviously been there since I was 17 years of age. So I started off as one of their riders, and I was doing dirt jump contests like a normal pro rider relationship, except I was a child that didn't understand anything. I was an awful sponsored rider when I was younger. My bikes would be a heap, and I'd be too worried about asking for new products. I didn't really understand the entire thing at all, not one bit. So I then stopped competing, and I worried about how I would still offer something to DMR, to my sponsors. I didn't want to give up being sponsored because I didn't have enough money to buy any products, and I wanted to still be a pro rider. So then I started doing magazine articles. So that's sort of led me onto my job today as a sponsored rider. But you're right, there was a point where I actually broke my ankle, and I started working for DMR in the office as well. And that started off in a graphic design role, and it quickly... The cool thing about the bike industry, and I feel like across the board this is the truth, there are a lot of companies that you see and you think they're massive, but really there's very few people involved in them, and they're people that wear loads of different hats. So I went into a job thinking it was going to be just graphic design, and it ended up being everything you could imagine, whether it was responding to warranty queries, whether it was designing packaging, whether it was coming up with new product ideas, social media, going to magazines, organising tests. All of this stuff is like it's like a complete overview of business. That's what the coolest thing about working in the bike industry. I feel like I know I'm dumb and stuff, but I do understand it now. It's the one thing I do really understand, I feel like. So
Yeah.
now, over the years, I've had less and less time, and I now go into the office probably once a week now. And my role now it's a really good relationship with DMR, and I would say more I'm like in product development. I do less of the day-to-day like graphic design stuff that I did for years. I don't do any of the warranty stuff. A lot of those tasks are taken care of by other people, but it's still really varied. And a lot of it now is like meetings, and I sit down with Chris, who's doing...
Is it like a formal agreement you've got, like you're in once a week?
Yeah, it is. But I mean, you know, it's obviously flexible. Those guys understand better than anyone what my life is like in terms of things that I have to do and get done and all of that. So it's really good now. We've got such a good relationship now. They've gone from being my bosses to just being my friends, and they understand it completely, and they I feel like it's better than ever, really. Like, we just talk openly about everything now. It's wicked. We can talk about every part of the business, and if you think about it, I've been there for so long that I can talk about every part of the business. I remember that in the early years, I'd go through the product catalogue. I didn't have a clue, dude. When I was working in there, I'd go through and I'd just be like, look at this product. It's the braced wing bar. It's like, it looked old. It didn't look like something that, you know, we needed in the catalogue. I was trying to make a mark. I was trying to change things, you know, move into the new realm, new components, performance parts.
Yeah.
I came into the office and I was like, what are we doing with the wing bar braced? This is just one example of me being wrong, which I have many times since that and before. And, the wing bar braced at the time was like one of the best selling products. They told me the numbers. I was like, just like backed out of the room, you know. You don't have a clue. You don't know what you're in for. Right. And thankfully now I think we get fewer of those moments, and I do actually.
It's also, while I've been working in the industry, you've got to really try and separate yourself off from what you like and what's actually going to work sometimes as well. There's an element of both, but there's certain times where I remember, like, when we've distributed various brands, we're like, we're not buying into that, it's shit. And then all of the emails you get are like, have you got this? Have you got this? Have you got this? Have you got this?
Absolutely. But it's...
I got a question.
Go on.
Whose idea was the death grip, and why did that actually ever happen?
So, the death grip was, well, it's like anything. It's just like a culmination of so many different people. Because I'm not pretending I know. I could take an idea to a final product, but I would need all of these other people. You know, I would need Damo at DMR has understanding of manufacturing that I would have to work for 20 more years to understand. He looks at a product and he knows exactly how many processes it goes through in order to get it to a final thing, and he's impressed by the low end product as well as he's impressed by the high end product. And I've definitely taken a load of those things on board, but Damo's like a design genius. Then you've got Matt. I would consider him honestly like really, really ahead of his time as well. Like his view on design and products. I don't mean to make this like a DMR advert, but it's such an honest brand. It's why I've been there so long. It's so sick.
And that's the thing as well. You've got certain parts that have just iconic that have got, and sometimes even I forget. I still think, oh, DMR, but then you think, you know, DMR V8. Yeah. You're like, fuck, I used to lust after that when I was young.
And I spend a lot of time trying to be objective about it. And when it comes down to it, you sort of end up reverse engineering stuff. But when it comes down to it, DMR's not ever going to do greenwashing. They're not going to talk. They're really against talking about stuff in that way, in that lame, you know, in that sort of lame way that brands are doing these days. We really try and not do it. But the reality is, Damo doesn't want to have parts on bikes that don't last and aren't well made, which is the most environmentally friendly. You know, every process you think about the environment, but ultimately you're trying to create something that lasts and that you service, for instance, and that you look after and that parts are available for. And he's been doing that for years, and that's a big part of why it's good. You'll realise there's no carbon bars in the range. Why is that? I don't know. It's because he's been to Taiwan. He's seen how horrible the process is, and then also he's ridden his bike. He looks down. He doesn't want to have carbon bars. It's like all of those things are really cool, and I think, yeah. And then you've got Matt who understands business. Obviously, everyone understands bits of everything, but Matt's really clued up on how everything works. And then we've got Matt Gray, who's the graphic designer. He's the reason everything looks cool. And Rory in marketing. I mean, the list goes on. You can't just, you couldn't put it down to one person. But Death Grip basically started. No. We already had a signature product that was the Vault for Brendan, and we wanted to make a grip. Okay. It's literally that simple. And we sat down and we just worked it out. Until we spent weeks on the size of a nail. We're still doing it now.
Yeah.
It's good, man. I enjoy it. I'm
Great answer.
There you go. I've rattled on.
Well, that's good. It's interesting. It is interesting there. I think, again, we have to think about our audience. You know, we talk about this stuff day in, day out, but some people still look from the outside in of like this bike industry as like aspirational thing to be part of. So it's always good to find out what people do, how you get in there and stuff like that. And hopefully that, it's funny, man. I was talking about this earlier, a slightly different tangent about not ethics, but like what you're trying to achieve with certain things, especially when it comes to social media. And for us, I was trying to actually explain to Emma over lunch. I was like, we've actually got written down what we are trying to do with this podcast, and it's like inspire people, and it's this, and it's like we've got like a bit of a mission statement. I have anyway. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I've got it, but it's right there. Like, this is hopefully what we're trying to do. It's like trying to put a fun spin on mountain biking, inspire people, and if it inspires someone into a new career or even applying for a job done. Super happy. It's not just about riding your bike; it's about everything else that comes along with this beautiful community that we've created. So
absolutely, too right, and that I'm always thankful for. And on that note, thanks for listening.
God bless everyone out there. Yes. All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciated. No doubt. If you have enjoyed listening, please like, subscribe. We're going to start doing comment of the week again. So if you are listening on iTunes, if you don't listen on iTunes, just go to iTunes anyway. Leave a review so we can read it out on hopefully next week's show. If you're watching on YouTube, click subscribe, please, and then click unsubscribe, then click subscribe again. That's the little cheat code. But YouTube's been doing really well so far, so thanks everyone out there for engaging and watching.
Always.
And that's it.
Make sure you follow at The Ride Companion as well. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, at OW_.